And joining us now in the studio to discuss the significance of the Martin Luther King Memorial is Vivian Lowery Derryck, President and CEO of the Bridges Institute, a non-profit organization that she founded that aims at strengthening leadership and governance in Africa. And she's also a past recipient of the Martin Luther King Service Award. So Ms. Lowery Derryck, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So I guess as a recipient of this Martin Luther King Service Award, and also having worked with the late civil rights icon, also Dorothy Height,
yes.
What does this unveiling of the memorial mean to you personally?
It's extremely meaningful. I went on Saturday and spent a good period of time, and it was restorative. The people that were there were such a diverse section of the United States. And everyone was reading the signs and truly thinking about what Dr. King had meant. There was a group of 46 women who had taken the bus from Iowa, who had not been involved in civil rights, just because it was so important. A woman from New Hampshire who was in a wheelchair, who had been to the first march and came back. So that emphasis on values and the good feeling and camaraderie was really important.
Now here this memorial stands 30 feet, from what I understand, really tall.
Yes.
And it shares the same space as the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln. And here he is, the first African-American non-elected official. What does this say, especially for people who you know, as Dorothy Height included, who were pushing so hard for this kind of recognition?
What it says is that this is a country that sometimes can rise and do great things. And it talks to the resilience of people. It cost $130 million. And this is money that's really a partnership of government, of private sector, and of a lot of black people who cared about it, especially black institutions. Dr. Height, I was thinking yesterday that she was not there, but she was there in spirit, and President Obama mentioned her with Rosa Parks as persons who also really become a part of this memorial.
And of course, he also credits Dr. King for him being the first African-American elected president.
Exactly.
And there he was on the mall yesterday officiating over this. Moving on to the broader global inspirations and aspirations of Dr. King. He went to India, met with Mahatma Gandhi, where he drew the inspiration of the nonviolence protest method. And then he went to Ghana, where he also witnessed the independence ceremony there. He met President Nixon there, and he said, I want you to come to Alabama and see how we also want that same kind of freedom. Yes. What do you make of, just his inspiration that he drew from all over the place?
What I take from that is his universal values, and that by India and his involvement in Ghana, that he saw that we were one world, as one of the inscriptions at the monument says, and that until we are all free, then none of us is. And he also talked a lot about poverty, and he saw that in India and in Ghana. And so, again, that unites people as opposed to separating them. I think that he also felt that dealing with young people was particularly important as well.
And I know your organization, the Bridges Institute, has a lot to do with still pushing this agenda of civil rights and freedom and liberation. And I'm sorry we don't have time to go into that today, but thank you for coming. Just final quick thoughts. This man, Dr. King, died at such a young age, 39, but he had achieved so much.
His legacy is remarkable, and his amazing ability to pull people in and paint pictures with words is something that we can all just grab and love and cherish the man and his memory and his legacy.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Vivian Lowery Derryck joined us in our studios today here at the Voice of America. She's CEO and President of the Bridges Institute.